In the sandman grew for the old man, Matty Water. This Louisiana Red is coming home. Well, I heard it was there, happening on my bed and cry. When I heard it was there, happening on my bed and cry. Say goodbye, Louisiana Red. I'll see you on the other side. All right, man.
One thing I've learned after all these years, you're gonna save yourself a whole lot of tears. Stop trying to figure out who was wrong and who was right. Got to move along, baby, yeah, that's right. You got to roll with the punches. Ooh, you gotta go with the flow. Punches, man, that's the only way to go, yeah. No use in looking at those old photographs, walking around the neighborhood, gotta tear it in half. Only one way that you can clear your tormented mind. Stop thinking he was just one of a kind. You gotta roll with the punches. Ooh, you gotta go with the flow. I said go with the flow. You gotta roll with the punches. Pick yourself up and find a way to go. Let's find that way to go now. Let's go. No use in staring at that old photograph. Walking around the neighborhood, you're gonna tear it right in half. Only one way you can clear your tormented mind. Stop thinking he was just one of a kind. You gotta roll with the punches. Gotta roll with the flow, oh yeah. You gotta roll with the punches, man, that's the only way to go, oh yeah. Only way to go, we've got to roll with the punches. I said we gotta roll with the punches. We gotta roll with the punches. Roll with the punches, man. Gotta roll with the punches, man. That's that's the only way to go. Only way to go.
I met this lady with a winning smile. We had some drinks and then we talked a while. She leaned up close and whispered in my ear. She said, I hope my boyfriend doesn't show up here.
Say what?
She said her ex kinda lost his mind. Not only that, he was the jealous kind. Special forces to him out. She looked around to see if he's about. She said, be ready, things might get funky. I said, oh, not my circus, not my monkey. Monkey see, monkey do, monkey see, yeah, but I ain't you. I got a burger from the all-night stand. This guy walks over with an open hand. He says, hey buddy, could you spare some change? I haven't eaten and I'm feeling strange. I said, pick something, but he shook his head. If you don't mind, I'd rather have the bread. If you could spare just a little more, I'll take us someplace where we both can score. I'm no angel, but I ain't no junkie. I said, yo, not my circus, not my monkey. Monkey see, monkey do, monkey see, yeah, but I ain't you. I like to think that I'm a caring man, and we're all part of a bigger plan. But sometimes when it's said and done, you got to grab your things and run. The general contractor had a worried frown. He said that ceiling's got to come on down. But all his crew had a day of rest, and he was trying just to do his best. He pointed up, he pointed way up high, where even pigeons were afraid to fly. Wants me to climb up there and risk my skin. I said, buddy, I'm just here to plug stuff in. I'd like to help you, but I ain't that spunky. I said, no, not my circus, not my monkey. Monkey see, monkey do, monkey see, yeah, but I ain't you. Not my circus, not my monkey. Ook. Ook.
You know what it's all about. Yep. Dedicate this to all the people who have been away for a long time, end up coming home, thinking they might come home and wishing they could come home. Here you go. back home. Wait for me, I'm coming back home. And I get to hear, baby, I won't let you go. You won't be gone,
what you can to keep sugar on the shelf, keep food up on the table, keep a roof over our heads. I know you're a man who's working night and day, but women do get lonely when the cat has gone away. I hear the wolf at my door, I hear him howling for my blood. Don't know how long I can hold it before the rivers start to flood. I do what I can to keep my mind on other things, keep my idle hands busy till the devil will step in. I know you're a man who worships at my altar, but I pity if you don't come back, my resolve will surely falter. I hear the wolf at my door, I am slipping for my sense. Lord, I can't stand this feeling. Jesus saves, but I'm almost spent. What he can to keep my nerves on red alert, keep my heart stuck in my throat, keep my pulse going berserk. I know he's a man who always gets his way, lays down the jack of hearts, and I just know I have to play. I hear the wolf at my door, I feel him scratching at my skin. My soul's already big bad wolf is coming in.
everybody. I ain't never seen blue hair. Tell me what kind of girl are you? Well, you broke my heart too. He's a very much.
In Whiskey, hello. Welcome to another session of Live Talking Blues. Live Talking Blues TV right here for you. Now, listen, our next guest is a man that has been called the King of Grit for his unusual mix of juke joint blues and cabaret. Now, his rich, quirky, and inspired down-home blues became well known to the blues audience through his work with the legendary Louisiana Red. Would you please welcome from the green room, Little Victor? Come on in. What's happening, man?
Hello. Hey, Cap. Hello,
Hey.
everybody.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good. Try not to catch corona, you know. I don't want to catch corona, but yeah.
It looks sunny where you are. I mean, you're in UK, aren't you?
I know.
You're in Great Britain.
I live, you know, I live by the beach in the tropics of England. The Republic of Brighton and Hove. I moved here a few years ago, and I love it. You know.
Yes. Now, listen. I'm looking at this this banner going down at the bottom, and there's a little discrepancy because you said that someone did a Wikipedia on you.
Oh yeah, I don't know. One day I was just looking for stuff, and I appear on Wikipedia, and I say, "Oh wow."
Now, when were you
really
born?
good lot of stuff. Okay, some albums I did, some awards and prizes I won are not there. But
when were you born?
Pretty much, you know, everything right. So hey, no complaints.
You were born the 31st of January, yeah?
Yeah, well, it's okay. Let's say so. We don't know.
Okay, but that's not
My
1967.
mom says 31st of January. My passport say February the 2nd. So I don't know, to be honest. On my American passport, I have 31st of January, and you know. I also have my mom's Italian, became an Italian citizen in 98, and it says February the 2nd, so go figure. That's why when I was a kid and I was collecting blues albums, you know, I was reading histories of all bluesmen, and nobody knew exactly the date. You know, Louisiana Red wasn't sure. A lot of black bluesmen from the South, born in the 20s or even before that, they didn't have birth certificates. So I was probably born November 23rd or 27th, not in 32 or not in 33. I don't know.
But you weren't born in 1967, were you?
Yeah, well, I know the year. Yeah, the year.
Okay.
No doubt about it.
I said, I must have read it wrong because it says something that you were studying blues at 14 in 1950s, but I think what it was,
no, it's not 50s blues. Yeah, I wish now.
Well, yeah, exactly. But you started playing guitar. You started playing harp before guitar, though, did you?
My first instrument, I couldn't play anything. You know, I was singing. I remember I was singing when I was 13 years old.
Yeah,
I was singing in the 50s rock and roll band called the Sunbeams, and we did everything out of the Sun Records catalog. You know. But after a couple, I couldn't really sing, but I was good looking. I had the big palm, you know, I have the moves, but then I learned. So, because in the band, they were all great musicians, but nobody was really a singer or a frontman. So, after a couple of years, I got quite good.
Yeah,
and I realized that what I really loved was the blues, was the stuff Sam Phillips recorded at the studio in Memphis, 706 Union Avenue, before Elvis ever walked in.
That's right. Yeah, before Elvis became, before he even, so you're saying that Sam Phillips what, did Elvis copy him, or did he get some of his?
Well, Sam Phillips moved to Memphis, Tennessee from Florence, Alabama, because he wanted to record black musicians, especially blues guys, great blues guys. So he opened a studio, and that wasn't called was called the Memphis Recording Service. And it did some work for label as Chess in Chicago or RPM in California. It was recording all the black blues guys he could find. Actually, what he really liked was the gritty blues, the gut bucket stuff. It would go to Church Park, and that's how he spotted, Dr. Ross or all the gritty guys. Whoa. So he was doing that. And if you listen to the early blues recordings, man, he recorded some of the best music ever. He didn't want to record white guys, but the problem is he was getting Howlin' Wolf. He got Howlin' Wolf signed. As soon as Howlin' Wolf had a break, he left for Chicago. Sam Phillips, B.B. King, he left, The thing is, black artists, as soon as they could get a hit or a break, they will leave the South and they will go up north looking for better conditions,
Better conditions. Can you blame them? I know that because,
Well, some of them got disappointed because actually Jim Crow was everywhere. A lot of folks nowadays think that was only in the South, but actually segregation was all over in America, of course.
This is true.
Was particularly bad in Mississippi and Tennessee. So when Elvis walked in, Sam Phillips said, he's a white guy, but he looks like a black guy. He dresses like one of them, same hair. It's very shyish. So, he knew if he could have this music played by a white guy, was something the world hadn't seen before, and the rest is history. I'm collecting records. I just did a compilation called Elvis Stole My Job, and features all the black artists Elvis kind of copied or, got inspired from and all that. Because let's face it, when Elvis came on national television in January 1956, wow, it was a big shock for the world,
I know.
But actually, before Elvis, only black guys would perform this type of music. I know. Moving like that, dressing like that,
Yeah, that's right.
To Harry Glover, a lot of black producers and our A&R man. Elvis was a mild version of Wynonie Harris. Wynonie Harris had the curly lips and was doing it in the 40s, and probably Elvis just saw him live in Beale Street and copied the moves. You got to know Elvis was a big gospel fan, and
that's
when you have a church, especially down south, I feel the Holy Ghost. I feel it. That's the way a country preacher will move during.
He would go to the black churches, Elvis, didn't he?
Oh yeah. Well, he used to go to white church, but black churches and quartets were actually copies of black church. Even the material was the same stuff. You have the white version and the black version. It's like Pat Boone doing Tutti Frutti, But hey, Little Richard was always grateful because Pat Boone opened doors for him and other black guys. So,
so did the Rolling Stones for a lot of black musicians over here.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. But
you don't think so?
They didn't send thing back. I mean, the Rolling Stones had Muddy Waters opening for them in the 70s. Without him, they wouldn't have no name for the band and nothing to play on the first 3 albums.
Oh yeah, so. This is true. I know.
So
I know.
I have I think two different ways about these guys. They did a lot for the blues. They did a lot for themselves. They become multi-billionaire, and they gave peanuts, like the crumbs off the table, to black guys.
I know. And some of them died penniless. Some of the black blues.
Oh yeah, I know. But it's the same thing with classical artists as Chopin. Chopin died poor. Bernstein became a millionaire playing his music. Van Gogh, the painter, he never sold a painting while he was living. He died poor. Right. And, he sold the painting, but then the man wanted the money back because the wife didn't like it. So he almost had.
He almost sold the painting.
But let's talk about other things. So when I was 16, I realized that what I really liked was the blues, and I started playing harmonica. And
so you tape that harmonica onto a microphone.
Yeah, always play a harmonica. Well, let me see one that works, maybe. Because I was singing, and I was born with ADD, ADHD, dyslexia, and all kind of stuff. So I wasn't very manual, but harmonica was pretty good with my mouth and my tongue. So hey, this is for me. And I played with a lot of black guys down in Memphis, Tennessee. I used to spend summer holidays in Memphis. My cousin lived there, and all that black blues.
Where were you born, though? What
My
city
cousin,
were you born in?
Kyle Falco, he has art bluesabilly band called Panther Burns. He inspired the Cramps, Nick Cave, and all those guys in the 70s, early 80s.
Oh, really?
But before becoming a musician, it was filming. He had a company called Televista. He filmed R.L. Burnside in his juke joint in 1972, but he called it honky tonk. Honky tonk and juke joint is the same. But nowadays, people assume juke joint is a blues joint, and honky tonks were country western white joints. But this, I don't know why, in the 80s and the 90s, but a honky tonk could be black or white, could play blues. Same thing for a juke joint. You have white juke joints where people would play country music, So
which is honky tonk, and then
juke joint would be. If you see it online, that's what my cousin filmed was R.L. Burnside in his honky tonk or juke joint, and is actually singing and playing guitar through the jukebox. He has a jukebox, with two entrants, so it will unplug the speaker, plug a microphone in one, and the guitar, and play all night. And every song lasted 20 minutes. I remember first time I went to his juke joint, actually, when I was 14 or 15 years old. The songs were endless. It was like, wow, like African music. I lived in Paris. I have a lot of African friends from Africa, and they have those gathering around. Music starts about 5 p.m. and it lasts until 6 a.m. the next morning. It's like, wow.
I'm telling you. I mean, listen, you. So why did you call Little Victor's juke joint that the band? That was just
well, because I wanted people to give them a name. Of course, number one was marketing, because when you're only Little Victor on the poster, you put Little Victor. Little Victor's juke joint blues. Okay, you already get, Hey.
I gotcha.
And also, I wanted people to know what type of music I do, So Little Victor's juke joint, you get pretty much the idea,
Well, we got you on a video playing with Louisiana Red and Little Victor's juke joint.
Oh yeah, Louisiana Red was one of my idols when I started.
Your mentor.
Louisiana Red. I remember when I was 13 or 15, I bought a copy of this record on roulette called "The Little Down Front Porch Blues." And wow, that was a big revelation for me. I decided to play guitar. I never wanted to learn how to play guitar, actually. I just wanted to play what Louisiana Red plays on the record. So when I was 13, I became a Louisiana Red fan. When I was 24, I saw Red performing live. When I was 34, I started playing with him. It was actually singing in my band.
Yeah, well,
I remember.
Let's have a look at this.
Yeah.
Thou shalt give a big rousing blues music award welcome to multiple nominee Louisiana Red and the band from back to the Black Bayou, Little Victor's Juke Joint.
This goes down from Louisiana kind of stuff.
I'm the boy from the Black Bayou. From I'm gonna tell you, hey, I am true. I wear my hands to the bone, baby, just to take the big just to take the big well, my mama told my daddy, let me go, she was too. I got a boy, child, from the hand. I'm going down to the Seven Sisters. Get 'em hold your head.
Well, all right. Oh Lord, yeah, this is the strongest song out of the album. The first album I recorded with Red. You know, I was his band leader and right-hand man for 8 years. I played with him from 2004, 2005 until he died.
Yeah,
And I
2012,
always
yeah.
played with my band an opening set. You know, I would do like 4 or 5 songs just to break the ice.
That was
And
great.
also to make sure the monitor was okay, the sound on the stage was good. So when the ice was broken and the crowd was kind of warm, now, ladies and gentlemen, the star of the show, blah, blah, blah. And I used to play a song, of course, called Won't Be Back No More. And it goes like this. You know, it's based on the classic Mississippi Catfish Blues theme, but, you know, everybody recorded it. Muddy Waters recorded She's Alright, Still a Fool, Rolling Stone, B.B. King called it Fishing After Me. You know, it's like Renaissance painters. They all painted, you know, Virgin Mary with baby Jesus, right? So
that's it.
I had a song that I used to do with the band before calling Red on stage, you know, calling him up on stage. That goes like this.
Okay.
Here's I'm going, here's I'm going, baby, don't you wanna go? Well, I'm living in the morning, won't be back, won't be back, won't be back no more, won't be back no more. So one night, Louisiana Red just walked on stage in the middle of the song, grabbed the mic and started singing a different song, and that was Black Bayou, you know. So we recorded the song as Black Bayou, but we used my arrangement, so like this. So that makes my song different from the B.B. King version, the Muddy Waters version, etc. And the album was actually very successful. For some reason, started selling a lot. We sold over 55,000 copies. I mean, real records, not downloads back then.
Yeah, exactly. Well, 55,000 downloads don't get you nothing.
Now, hell, maybe for $1 million, I can buy me some chewing gum. But,
that's
you know,
it. I know.
You know,
we can talk about that later. Let's talk about that later because that's craziness.
That was really unexpected because I also produced the record, you know, as a producer of the record, etc., etc.
So what label was it on?
We did it for a small label called Blues Town, and that was in Notodden, Norway. Norway is the biggest blues festival in the world.
That's it.
The Chicago Blues Festival is just as big, but Chicago Blues Festival is free. Notodden Blues Festival, you got to pay a lot of money, like $200, $300. So, you know.
And you played up there.
Roof Records in Germany, I think after the first 15,000 copies, wow, Roof Germany got hip to it. So it was actually Blues Town, the original label I had a deal with, released the masters to Roof Records, and Roof Records in Germany brought it to another level, you know.
Exactly.
But I think the album sold a lot in the alternative rock, you know, circuit. They saw Red as the next R.L. Burnside, you know. So it took 2 years for the blues world to catch up with Back to the Black Bayou. We won a Grammy in Germany, not a blues Grammy, a real Grammy.
Real Grammy,
and the Record Critics Award. And when we won, for example, the Never Have Blues, I won with Herbert von Karajan and the
Herbert from where?
Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra. Johnny Cash, the last recordings, and then Little Victor and Louisiana Red, Back to the Black Bayou. Wow, something to make Mama proud.
That's it, definitely.
The equivalent of a Nobel Prize for Records called the how can I say? Oh yes, called the Grand Prix du Disque. So I won
That's
with Red, and I went to the ceremony at the Maison de la Radio. And you know, I gave my invitation, but I was like, oh Lord, they're gonna kick me out, you know. Oh Lord. It's like, sir, can you? But I was bona fide, and I sat beside Juliette Greco, the French chanteuse, and also Sonny Rollins, one for jazz, Tinari Wen for world music. You know what I'm saying? I mean, wow.
I do.
And after 2 years, the blues world finally caught up with us. We had 4 stars on Rolling Stones magazine. And Red wanted me to read all the great reviews. Victor, how many stars we got? 4. Huh. What's the maximum? 5 stars. Victor, you produced me a shit record. I'm going to get something else. Hey, look, Red. I turn the page. To them, 5 stars is Michael Jackson Thriller Remastered.
Exactly. Okay.
We have 3 stars on Downbeat, you know, the jazz magazine.
That's it. Yeah. That's
How many stars we got, Victor? We got 3 stars. What's the maximum, Victor? 4 stars. Oh, man. You suck, man. I got to get me. Okay, look, Brad. To them, 4 star is that. Miles Davis Kind of Blue, 4 stars. Okay, maybe I'll keep you for the next album. So I was really glad because Louisiana Red moved to Germany, Hanover in the 80s, you know. It was okay, but it never had the fame and the success it always deserved. Louisiana Red started to play in the late 40s. He recorded with John Lee Hooker, with the Mighty Waters Band, Lil Walter, a lot of great guys, but he never got the recognition it really deserved. You know.
Yes, I wonder why is that. Some of them just had the labels and the marketing and all that type of thing, and sometimes it's just luck as well.
Never stayed in one place long enough. You know, he had traveling feet, so it would record some, and they would move from Detroit to Chicago, do some recordings, go back to some other place. It was from Pittsburgh. I mean, he was born in, I think, in Alabama, but his grandma lived in Pittsburgh. So when he was 9, after he lived for 9 years in an orphanage home, he moved to Pittsburgh. But when he was 13, he went to work in Detroit at the Ford plant because he looked like was a big guy. He said he was 18, but he was 14 and a half, you know.
My goodness.
So he had a very interesting life. And Brad was one of my early idols, you know,
you said he's your mentors. Yeah.
And actually, I wanted to play guitar just to play what Louisiana Red played on that album called The Front Porch Lowdown Blues. You know?
I'd love to hear it, man. I absolutely love to
check it out on Roulette Record. Actually, Roulette Record was a rock and roll label. They didn't have blues guys.
Yeah.
But I met a lot of blues guys that say, you know, when I was a teenager, my first record was Louisiana Red, Ride on Red. It's a Civil Rights song. I left my home in Vicksburg, started traveling north. I made it to New Orleans when it was about civil rights. Right on to your freedom, make the northern state your home. So, and a lot of white kids, you know, they used to go to the record store and they used to buy everything on Roulette, you know, because that was a rock and roll label. So they bought Louisiana Red and they discovered the blues. Actually, I met a lot of
by
guys.
accident. Yeah,
by accident they discovered the blues thanks to Louisiana Red on Roulette. They had a song called Red Stream and allegedly sold more than 1 million, but he only had a coat, a bottle of bourbon, and a guitar for the recording. So, you know.
A coat, a bottle of bourbon, and a guitar. I love that.
Yeah, well, you know, better than a lot of guys, you know, hey. You know, if you would have recorded for Jeff Bezos, probably didn't have to. He would have to pay for the bourbon and the coat. You know?
Shall we have another look at a video, Patsy? I want to see this one. You made a song called Luan at the Blues Kitchen session.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is this is I ain't got no place to go from the TV show I did for national television in Spain a few years ago. They asked me to do 55 minutes of my own music. This is called Ain't Got No Place to Go.
Ain't Got No Place to Go. Okay, yeah, that's the next one. Okay, let's have a look. I love when you do that. Oh,
Well, yeah, thanks to Back to the Black Bayou, I could move to Spain. I had a house at the beach in Badalona, Barcelona, and TV Tres, which is national Spanish television, asked me to do a studio blues thing that was recorded live at the recording studio. 55 minutes of my own compositions, and that got me quite a lot from the Spanish guy. It's the Spanish BMI, So every 6 months, I'm still getting money because it was broadcast at prime time, 10 o'clock. That's dinner time in Spain. Actually, early dinner in Spain.
Early dinner in Spain, that's right.
So the first time didn't earn me a lot of money, but thanks to Repeat, they still broadcast at like 2 o'clock in the morning when nobody really watches. It still makes me some right. Hey,
that's it. Did they stop that during Corona?
Old insomniacs, everybody's still up at night. In Catalonia, they've been, watching this over and over again for the past 7-8 years. So
I bet I know some people over there who definitely watched it. You ever heard of Lito Blues Band, Lito Fernandez? But that's more Andalusia. That's more down south.
No, Blues Andalus. No. But I played in Andalusia. I'm playing at the Rock and Race. I headlined at, I was the headliner at the Mijas Blues Festival a little while ago.
Oh, yeah.
But
yes, I know.
Story about the song. I used to play with Hubert Sumlin. Hubert, he was a guitar player for Howlin' Wolf for 20 years until he died, And I remember Hubert couldn't drive. Back then I could drive. Now I got hit by a fan. I lost peripheral sight. Looks good on the, was a ceiling fan. I used to be a pretty wild performer, so I would climb on top of counters. And I remember at the Waco's Roadhouse in Waco, Texas, that was in 93, they had a big old ceiling fan, American, big old iron.
Yeah, I know,
It was off, but everybody was smoking back then, in the 90s. So some wise guy just turned on the fan, and I got hit by a fan, but it was like like a horror movie. I had blood all over the fan. But people did not believe it because I used to fake heart attacks. I had stretchers, taking me with the ambulance. Just say, it's probably another trick, but no. So it looks good on my body, Little Victor got hit by a fan, but it was a ceiling fan. So I'm blind as a bat.
No, it's funny when you say you got hit by a fan. I thought you got a fan, like an audience, music fan.
That was it. So
not a twirly fan. I thought you meant a human fan.
when I could drive, I think Hubert Sumlin, was an avid drinker, so he lived in Austin. When I lived in Austin, Texas, I played with Hubert Sumlin, and I had to drive him around, because he couldn't drive. So when you play with the old blues guys, it's not just you play with a musician, It's like playing with your grandpa. You got to make sure it sits next to the toilet. It's got his pills. He's got his Bible. Blah, blah, blah. Like Red or, hey, you have to pee-pee. No, I don't have to pee-pee. We cannot stop. No. Okay. 20 minutes. I have to pee-pee. Oh, Lord. Same thing. So,
Yeah.
So Hubert played with Howlin' Wolf, and I remember he used to come to Austin, and he had a guest spot with everybody who played Anthems, and I had a Wednesday nights at Anthems for a while. So we became friends, and it would every time he would come back to town, it would say, "Victor, man, can you come?" And I was driving him around, and he would, let me play harmonica with him. I learned so much just looking at him. He never gave me formal lessons, but when you play harmonica, okay, this is E, okay, A. I just absorbed the mojo, the thing,
You sure
and
did.
a funny story. One night, Hubert was booked Alfred, and I just went down there, just to see him. Hey, Hubert. Oh, Victor, man. Hubert never was a singer. He was mumbling something on the mic. I said, Victor, man, do you have your harmonicas? Yeah. Do you know any of Wolf's number? Yeah, I know the Mo, but I don't sing like Wolf. Say, well, I
nobody sing like Wolf
either. So I went down there, I paid my ticket, and I ended up working for free, playing harmonica and singing. And I remember No Place to Go is actually a ripoff for Howlin' Wolf. The band have a long way from home. The band have a long way from home. Don't mistreat me, please don't do me wrong. But I couldn't remember the lyrics, so I made up something on the spot, and that became I Ain't Got No Place to Go, because I couldn't remember Po' Boy. I never actually, I recorded it in California with Kim Wilson and all these guys, but I've never issued. So maybe next album I'll do a song. But I love Hubert, man.
Yeah, man.
Hubert, after a gig, said, Victor, man, I'm going to have nightmares if I don't eat 3 o'clock in the morning. Said, Hubert, I'm going to have nightmares if I eat now. Oh, man, I got to get me some FOOD. Okay. But FOOD. I know a place, and you own the place. So I'm going Austin Q Club, open all night, open all night, but the guy at the grill was going home, Oh, man, I'm here with Hubert Sumlin, the guy who played with Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters, Jimmy Reed. So, man, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't care if you're here with Jesus. I'm going home. Oh, please, so I give him $10 tips. The guy, okay, puts the tablecloth on, puts the grill on again. And Hubert really write so well. Was taking a whole long time reading the menu, like
listen.
Say, Hubert, order your food fast. We're gonna get. And the guy was sharpening the knife. And one thing about Hubert, I love the man. When the food came, no matter what it was, Hubert would go, Victor, that's not what I ordered. Hubert, shut up and eat.
Exactly. Some great characters in some of those blues artists. Such great. And you've traveled all over the world. It seems like you and lived in quite a few places as well.
I've been around the block, Kat. Yeah. Well, my dad was in the Air Force. My dad's from Arkansas. He was a serviceman. He was in the Air Force in the 60s, and he met my mom in Italy. So I was born there, but I lived everywhere. I lived in Germany. I lived in Japan. I'm a fly boy. I'm Air Force bred. And 90% were blacks from the South, because as you know, in the military was no discrimination. White surgeon, black surgeon, brown surgeon, all the same. We all green on the battlefield. So I didn't know what this was. I mean, I grew up. Sometimes I was the only white boy at school.
In some of the places.
But then we moved to Monticello, Arkansas when I was 10, and
Monticello
kids did not play with white kids. That was weird for, But so, I remember, my neighbor was playing guitar in the front porch as a kid, and my nanny, Teresa, she was black. My mom she didn't have milk, so I had a black nanny. I sucked black milk, We couldn't share a fountain, but, it was okay.
You can suck black milk.
Yeah, so to me, I'm colorblind. I mean,
Yes.
And it ain't about pigmentation; it's about soul.
It's about the heart, isn't it? Just definitely.
But definitely, black folks have something that white guys cannot. For example, I knew when I started to play harmonica and guitar, I could sound like the thing. I like the shit, excuse my French. The singing, oh, that's a long way. To be honest, I can sing beautifully, but the past 40 years, I've been trying to sound credible for the blues,
Yeah.
It ain't how good you can sing, but are you credible? Can you get away with it?
As long as it comes from your heart. You sing the blues the way it's been given to you. That's your blues. That's your interpretation. That's how you feel it. That's how you sing it. That's why. I mean, the blues is for everybody.
Amen.
It is for everybody. Now, tell me a little bit about the Blues Kitchen sessions. Is that the Blues Kitchen here in London?
Yeah, when I moved to England, after Back to the Black Bayou, I lived in Spain for a while. I did this TV show, and thanks to the money from the TV show, before moving to England, because they had a big crisis, money was bad, etc. I got a gig at the Blues Kitchen, and they shot this video.
I read that wrong the first time. I was jumping ahead of myself.
I can't hear it, but
let's have a little listen. Oh, okay. Have a little listen.
Mr. Polly, you look just like a queen. You look just like somebody else in a dream. Louisiana, tell me what kind of girl are you? You dance crazy about you, woman. Have to broke my heart too. You can party your life, you can party your day, and you don't drink never, darling. That's your Tennessee lemonade. Louisiana, tell me what kind of girl are you? You have crazy about you, woman. I just don't like the way you do.
Wow. You play that electric guitar just like it's a. You play that electric guitar like acoustic, don't you?
Yeah, well, mostly yes. I've never learned how to bending the strings since B.B. King came along. Seems like it's the only way to play blues guitar, but actually not.
No.
Unfortunately, we see the blues from the rock guy's standpoint. If Eric Clapton could fake it, oh yeah, that's blues. Eric Clapton could not play this shit. When he plays Robert Johnson, it's ridiculous. He plays with a pick. I mean, come on. So, everything is, if the Rolling Stones like it, or if Eric Clapton or the rock guys in the 60s and the 70s, the rock stars that made billions copying the blues, so if it was okay in their, that's why Clarence Gaffmouth Brown was one of the best guitar player ever. It's not in the book because, the Rolling Stones could not play his music, or Eric Clapton could not copy his guitar playing. So it's not in the book. Yeah. But, so I never really even tried to play like B.B. King, because when it started, you would go anywhere to any blues jam or, a guitar center or a pound shop, and everybody was playing the B.B. King thing. And it's funny because I read an interview, actually, was on this book, Blues All Around Me. B.B. King said, I could never play guitar like this. Before B.B. King, a guitar player had to play 3 parts of guitar. And B.B. King used to go and watch Sonny Boy Williamson play with Robert Jr. Lockwood and say, oh man, I could never play guitar. but he had strong fingers, and he was listening to the country radio stations from Nashville. And he didn't know the steel guitar, the lap steel was a guitar. I mean, he thought the lap steel was a guitar, so he was trying to copy the country lap steel sound and play like this, no? But it only plays that. And you say, I never consider myself a blues guitar player. I always.
What would you teach your students? What would you teach one of your students if they wanted to learn the blues? I mean,
number one, play out of tune. Don't you ever play with a 440 tuner, because that's the Nazi tuning. There was no 440 hertz, you know that.
So what do you tune in?
I'm tuning in low C. My E is a C.
I see.
I learned how to play in A and E. But my singing is better. If you're a white boy and I know a few white guys, they were born with the gift. They open the mouth and they sound like the shit, you know. Me, man, I opened my mouth, I sound like Pee Wee Herman. So it was a long way to sound, acceptable. And you don't have to sing like Wolf or this type of guys. Muddy Waters wasn't singing, was talking to you. Whoa, yeah, Lightning Hopkins was talking. Robert Johnson was talking.
Yes.
Slim Harpo almost sounded white, and he was singing through the nose because he had no pipes. Billy Boy Arnold, Jimmy Reed. So all this fake tough guy vocal, this was like from the 70s guy, like, I don't know, man. Who's the guy? The guy from Sheffield, the British guy with the beard. Lord, I can think.
Sheffield.
I never listened to any of that. Joe Cocker.
Joe Cocker.
Yeah, it was forcing it. It could have probably sounded, I don't know. For my money, it probably would have sounded better without forcing it. You don't force it.
Yeah, I thought he just had that kind of style.
Well, he was a big Ray Charles fan, of course.
Yes, of course.
But then I think the drinks and the loud music, the guys behind him played pretty loud, so probably he had to scream to hear.
That's it. That's it.
I never got into the rock blues fan or the white guys. I'm sorry, I know.
No, we're good. We're good. Listen,
I'm white myself, but you know what? My guitar doesn't know it.
Yeah. I know, but again, your soul doesn't have any color. You know what I mean?
No. As long as you sound credible. But I totally skipped the rock blues thing. The white guys hippies playing the blues. To me, I started with the real thing. And when the real thing, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Well, but it was a long trip because I had to sound credible, and I didn't have the pipe, so I had to find a way around it. Like Dr. John. Dr. John, he found a way around it so it could be cool and credible. And my biggest problem with white folks doing blues was the singing. They could sound like this shit when they play guitar and harp. Man, I didn't like no white person singing blues, to be honest. When Elvis was singing a blues song, and it was rock and roll, rockabilly. It was cool, but it wasn't blues no more. You know what I'm saying?
Can you
Big
play a song?
Big Jagger doing the blues, So, sorry. I'm hyper, and I had a big old cup of coffee because, so.
Fantastic. I love it. Cheers, man. You talking about how you play. Can you play your audience, Live Talking Blues audience, a song? Let's solo it. Just play us a song through whatever you like.
Okay. I would like to do a number I have on 78 by Willie Cotton, and it's called Seem Like a Dream. The original was actually recorded in the 1930s by a mandolin player. Okay, this is my own version. Actually, when I learned how to play was like E. So it was like... So, guitar players have to play like piano players. Playing the bass. They have to provide the whole accompaniment to the vocalist. always played the bass with my thumb. Sorry, I never played this guitar. I cannot play electric where I live. Got very fixed
That's
strings.
true. Yes, of course. I forgot you told me
Sorry.
that. Thank you
play
for that
electric.
because I really want to hear just a little bit of your playing. You know, it's so gorgeous.
Well, you know, if I play with the band, I actually play the same thing, but you know, I have other guys. I don't change anything, like Muddy Waters or Johnny Hooker, Lightning Hopkins. They'll play the same way, you know, because to learn acoustic guitar solo, so they just bought a guitar, an electric, and an amp. Because when they moved to the big town, you know, playing acoustic on street corner or bars, they weren't cutting it. So they got an amplifier, an electric guitar, but they basically play the same thing, you know. And I'm trying to keep this going. I learned directly from Uncle Ben Perry. I remember when I was too young to go to a club, I could just peek through the window. I was playing for tips down on Beale Street, you know, Church Park. That was called Hamden Park. And I played with Uncle Ben. He only played in the key of E and the key of A.
Really?
So, you know, only have two keys, and I bought him a capo. Say, Uncle Ben, you know, if you put a capo, you can play in F and G. Oh yeah, thank you. He put it in his guitar case. After 2 weeks, you know, he never used it. Say, Uncle Ben, you know, what about trying the capo? Oh, I'm not going to choke my baby guitar with this motherfucker. He opened the little thing. He had 7 or 8, and he said, you know, Victor, when I was younger, when I was your age, I used to play every key. Bad mistake. You know,
Really?
if I don't get it in A, I'll get it in E. If I don't get it in A and I don't get it in E, I'll leave it alone.
Leave it alone. That's it.
You say, you know, when you play every key, you are wasting your talent. You're wasting your energy.
Yeah.
Elmer James only singing one key in the key of D. So when he would hit and play in D, when he would hit that D, well, Lord have mercy. So back then, I didn't know what he meant. But now, you know, because I try and say, hey, he was right. I play in E and A, I put the capo, or I put it in open D or Wasipol or whatever it is. And, you know, less is more. But, you know, when you're young, you know, like a young puppy.
Well, yeah.
You're
still learning.
Yeah. Now I know less is more.
Yeah.
If I don't get it in E, Cap, I'll get it in A.
That's it, man.
Well, my E is actually a C natural, and my A, it's an F natural.
Okay.
So, piano player loved me because I tried to go down. I sound better if I low down the keys. Actually, a lot of black guys would tune a half step down, you know, or a full step down. On the blues forum, I hear, oh, this guy probably their 78 doesn't turn right, blah, because they go with the tuner for 40 hertz, and that was introduced by the Nazis. Hitler really liked his Wagner in 440.
You're kidding.
And when all the Nazis, we decided not to hang to fight communism, moved to America, you know, Nazi scientists that help us win the Cold War, they were in Reagan's cabinet until the late 80s. All these guys, all Nazis, that instead of hang, we hired. You know, hang or hire. We killed 3 or 4, but the big guys, the big Nazi guys, moved to America and lived, you know, hallelujah. Yeah, great.
Jesus Christ.
So these guys helped introduce the 440 hertz tuner. But before that, tuning was 438, 442. So I don't like Nazis. I'm sorry, you know. I don't think
that's quite all right. That's quite all right. We don't get too political or too religious on here.
No, I don't like the 440 standard. It's not natural. I like the lower keys, or when you listen to old guys, especially blues solos, they didn't tune with the tuner. They tuned with the bird passing by. Or with the train whistle. You know?
The train. I love that train on the harmonica. Yes, exactly.
Of course, when a scientist 70 years later go with a modern tuner, it wasn't tuned. Maybe the 78,000 spin right, you know, whatever. Let them talk.
Yeah. So you're focusing more on production at the moment as opposed to more touring.
To be honest, after I moved to Spain and they had an economic crisis, and I lived in Barcelona. They had the Catalan independence with clashes. Say, I want to move. out.
Yeah.
I'm like a polar bear. I'm following the ice. I've been living
You
all
just
my
follow-
life. I lived in Germany. I lived in France. I lived in in the States too. But in the States, to be honest, I went back to the States for a while after Spain. But man, it's very hard to make a living playing the type of music I play. It's like
Why is
England.
that? Because there's
know.
so many.
When I lived in France, I was an artist, Monsieur l'Artiste. I like that.
Artiste,
And in
yes,
France, whenever you're not gigging, they give you 70 or 80% of what you're making. So
that's right. They
you
do
have
support the artists. Yeah, they do support.
unemployment.
Yeah.
And I have a
understand.
status. Hey, I won a Grammy in France. Come on.
Yeah.
In America, here you're $50. You pay for your drinks. You play from 8 to 2, no breaks. Bring the PA. Yeah, great.
I get you. Yeah, I get you.
So, Kat, after 25 years living in Europe and be paid good money, and in Europe you get open bar. When I play, they hire a sound man. They put me and my guys in a nice hotel. They pay for my hotel flights. They pick me up at the airport. They take, in the States. Oh Lord, it's the same here.
Really?
You play, you pay for your beers, you bring the PA. Yeah, you don't even get a pack of, potato chips for free.
Potato chips, the peanuts.
Free. Yeah. Oh, we have water from the toilet. Here's a glass.
Oh, no, Victor.
Yeah,
listen, don't.
I had that. Well, Okay.
I want to get your information out to people, but before that, I want to have a look at Blind Man Boogie. Let's have you on stage. Cool. Patsy, can we have a look at that one? I want to see that. That's you live on stage, man. Cool.
Live in Paris, and it was early in the morning. It was on a Sunday, and I had a gig. I went to bed at 4 the night before. I cannot sing before 1 p.m. I tried. I'm in the studio at 9. Just won't come out.
Yeah, I can hear that. Blind man. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
We had no sound check, no nothing, just a line check. They had 7 other bands, so basically, I was wasn't my amp or anything. I just plugged in and I tuned after the second song.
Yeah. I love how you got your mic, how the mic is taped onto your.
I first started like Jimmy Reed acoustic, but I couldn't get the electricity. So I figured, I saw a one-man band called Joe Hill Lewis, and it had like a harmonica mic duct tape on it. And I remember when I was a kid, I used to go and see Ezekiah and the House Rockers. My uncle was managing them. David Evans, University of Memphis, Dr. David Evans. He wrote a lot of books, on blues, etc. And I remember Ezekiah early was a big guy who was playing stand-up drums, and he was singing, and he had a harmonica tape with electrician tape to the mic stand. So he will sing, he would do drum solo while playing the harmonica.
That's it.
And I
Yeah.
said, wow. So I decided to duct tape actually my, they say silence in gold, but duct tape is silver. So I've been duct taping a harmonica mic. I use a grin bullet. I try lighter mics because my neck starts to hurt after all these years.
Oh, see,
I really like the sound of the Shure Grin Bullet, you know, like the very heavy mic. So I try lighter mics for my neck, but the sound ain't there.
I got you. Hey, Victor, tell me a little bit about the your DJing, and you've been collecting 45 since 1977.
45 since 1978. It's been
What's the Coco Mojo label?
Yeah, okay. I used to DJ, you know, spin my blues and rhythm and blues records. I mostly have black music from the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, you know. I haven't had a lot of 78s, but the break, they're very hard. You cannot DJ with 78s, the break. You need a different arm tone. So
that's right.
And I've been spinning records for a long time. It was like an extra thing, you know. But money was really good in the 80s and the 90s because nobody had those records. And, you know, nowadays everybody is everything, you know.
Well, they can get them all online and everything now. You just go over to Spotify and all that sort of thing, isn't it?
Know. So nowadays, in the 90s, I decided to focus more on my musical career. And I kind of stopped. But I think I used to make cassette tapes from the decks, you know, at my DJ sets. And just tapes been dubbed and dubbed and dubbed and bootleg, even end up on bootleg CDs.
Really?
And the tape will go for $100. Man, give me 20 and I'll make you a new one, you know.
Jeez.
So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So I think about 5 or 6 years ago, Rockstar Records in the UK got bought off by Rhythm Bomb in Germany, and they asked me to do a few compilations, to compile a few albums with stuff from my record collection, you know, stuff that you never heard on CD or LPs and stuff. So I decided, and I used my old avatar, DJ Mojo Man.
DJ Mojo, that's it.
Yeah, I used to dress up with a cajal, stage makeup, a turban, a cape, you know, the whole 9 yards.
Okay.
And I was expecting to do maybe 10 or 20, right? So they created a label called Coco Mojo Records. So far, I compiled 110 albums. It's quite a lot.
That is quite a lot. I hope the royalties are good on that. You know, as well. You know
well, okay. Shut up, Victor. I'll take the fifth. No, it ain't the money, you know. But it's some extra, you know. When you do 110, you know.
You're an entertainer. You get it from everywhere. Where you know you're just entertaining the people, and that's the great thing about.
Yeah, that's why I decided when I moved to England, you know, because I was tired of touring. You know, Kat, it's very hard to travel with guitars and amps and pedals and harmonicas and bring records and bring the clothes. So I decided to slow down, and I got phlebotomies on both of my legs. So I decided to focus more on production. That was when I first moved to England. And I produced, like my friend Hard Dog Brown, Canadian James Harmon. We did a very successful record with Rusty Zinn and Charlie Musselwhite called Traveling with the Blues. The album did really great. I produced a tribute to Little Walter called The Blues of Little Walter. I produced Jerry Roll Man. I produced Juke and Gallant, the Jackknives. I produced, a trio from Holland called Little Hat. All great guys. I used to watch a TV show. I don't know if you know that. You know, when I was touring, I was 4 o'clock in the morning trying to go to sleep. I was zapping around, and they had a show called Extremely Looking. You know, they take this girl. She doesn't look hot. She got thick glasses, bad hair, acne, you know, bad teeth. And they give her a nice haircut, you know, facial makeup, a good. Wow. And she looks wonderful. I said, if I can do this with music, so
exactly.
I can make anybody sound great on record. Anybody.
So have you got access? Can we go to your website?
Well, my website, to be honest, needs some serious updating. But www.littlevictormusic.com. But most of my prizes and awards are actually on Wikipedia, Little Victor. You know, you have some of my compilations. You have all my productions, except maybe Little Hat and a couple of more. all the records I played on, produced, etc., etc. The thing is, nowadays you don't sell CDs no more, Cat. You know,
I know.
so nobody's willing to put 6,000-7,000 for a producer. They go to the studio, they cut the live set, and they let the studio guy who likes Metallica or God knows what do the mix.
Yeah.
You know, great.
Okay.
It's like a Quentin Tarantino movie without Quentin. He had the cameraman, you know, and the costumer wrote the script. So I decided to go more into compilations because you know what? That artist can't complain.
That's it. That's it. Well, let's watch one more video before we go, and we're gonna let you go in just a minute. So, what is this? What is this called? You Don't Know My Mind.
Oh yeah, that's a title track of my deluxe Lo-Fi album. I did a record in 2018 that was that's not. No, don't put this, please. It's terrible.
Okay, Patsy, he doesn't want. He doesn't want to
Somebody
play
did
it.
this, but it sounds terrible. It was dubbed from TV, maybe with the telephone.
Oh, I see.
You know, maybe there's another version of my mind with the band I recorded it with. Or maybe Why You Do the Things You Do, the medley I did with my band before moving to. That's a pretty good video. It was a night for dancers. And actually, you know, as soon as it started to play, all the tables got empty. What is this? I don't see anything. Okay. Whatever.
No, she didn't put it.
If I can produce records, I produce my compilations. I'm working on a new album. I did a record called Deluxe Lo-Fi, and that was recorded in mono Lo-Fi. To me, Lo-Fi is like the black and white version of hi-fi, like color and black and white. You know.
Yeah.
And
can they find you on? On Spotify? Sorry, I was going to say where people can get.
I hate
get a hold of
Spotify. I know it's on Spotify. It's a necessary evil because if you're not on Spotify, promoters and club owners don't even consider you. The thing is, I used to make 40,000-50,000 a year just with royalties before Spotify. They pay me micro cents. I got 12 albums there, 0.000.2 microcents. So if the Beatles would have to share a Spotify thing for the first album, they will have to split 5 quid 6 ways because they have to pay.
I know.
You know, it's crazy. I understand record companies don't make money, but you know, Spotify, these guys are making billions, and they don't even pay peanuts. So somebody should do something.
They're trying. I think they are trying to do something. They are trying to do
hard enough.
They're not trying hard enough. I know exactly. But if we go to your website and we can get your audience to see you there, are you going to be doing anything live?
No,
in the
buy my records from me, Little Victor. I'm on everyone.
Okay.
Little Victor at hotmail.com. Buy my, you know, Cat, Louisiana Red passed away. Muddy Waters died. Jolly Hooker left us. And to be honest with you, I don't feel too good myself today. So please buy my music while I'm still living.
While you still going. That's right, man. That's right.
The best thing is to buy music directly from the artist. So, you know, the music goes to the artist. When you buy from Amazon or platforms, we're not getting anything.
That's it. Okay, fine. That's so you can email your Little Victor, but on Facebook you're called Victor Mac.
I'm Little Victor Mac. Yeah, my name Victor Mac. I have a fan page on Never Go with Little Victor, but email is littlevictor@hotmail.com.
Littlevictor@hotmail.com. You guys, let's get that.
I'm featured on Old Music Guide, the Michelin Guide for Musicians. Somebody put me on Wikipedia, etc. Actually, I always heard how Wikipedia anybody can write anything. You know, it's not true because I tried to add stuff.
Yes.
The next day was all gone. So it ain't true. It's a bit of a legend. You can put anything. You know.
Well,
I got bona fide. I did everything, and they said, it has to be checked by 3 other guys that were checking the facts. So you know, I couldn't even add my own picture. They told me I didn't have the right to do that.
Well, Patsy wanted to play another one of your videos. What about Keep Your Hands Out of My Pocket?
No, that's a jam. No. How about Why You Do the Things You Do, the medley, or something like My Mind, the live version?
I don't
anything. You know, there's a lot of videos out there, and
we can get them. We can get them on YouTube anyway. So, and your YouTube channel will be Little Victor. I get them on YouTube. So we're gonna have to close anyway soon, Little Victor, Victor Mac, Mr. Victor Mac. So you go over to the YouTube and it'll be Little Victor on YouTube, or you can go to at your email or at your Hotmail, littlevictor.com. Email him. at Gmail, littlevictor@gmail.com.
No, Little Victor Hotmail. I'm old school.
Hotmail, Little Victor Hotmail. Yes, Little Victor Hotmail.com. Definitely. We can get in touch with you. All you guys get in touch with
Or
this
come to my
fabulous
shows.
historical
I'm playing
man
at
while
the
he's still here.
Bootlegger tonight in Brighton. I'm playing at the Blues Weekend Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, say that again because I was talking over you. Say it
Okay,
again.
tonight I'm doing my hootenanny at the Bootlegger Bar in Brighton. Then I'm playing Saturday and Sunday at the Blues Weekend, at the Bison Beach Bar, and I'm playing Sunday night at Shorts Bar in Camptown. So,
In Camptown, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to make it over to Brighton to come see you because I got some mates.
Yeah,
up there.
come on down.
I would definitely come on down. I'm gonna hit one of your hootenannies. Won't be this weekend because I'm gonna rest up a little bit. You know, I've been
Always
crazy.
welcome. And let me
Thank
know
you so much. So
Thank
listen,
you
guys.
for having me here. Thanks to Patsy. Thank you, Kat. And
Let's say hello to Patsy. Hey, Patsy, what's happening?
hello. You'll take care now and stay out of jail. There's no bail.
No, we won't be in jail. Okay, Patsy, take us home. See you, Victor.